Hello. It's good to see everyone. Welcome to the International Day of Play. This is the first time that the United Nations International Day of Play is actually recognized, and I'm super excited to be going live with you today and building out this beast of an incredible build. So this is the Monkie Kid Celestial Pagoda. It's number 80058. And the LEGO group sent me 4 incredible Monkie Kid sets that are in the new wave, the new release that in some countries came out June 1st. In the United States and some other countries too, it'll come out August 1st. But wanted to go ahead and share with you this build and then also briefly show you the other builds that I'm excited to review. But very, very excited to have people joining today. As you're joining, I would love it if you could drop in the chat your answer to the question, how do you incorporate play into your life? So how does that show up for you? And as you're filling out your answers there in the chat, I'll go ahead and share them as you talk, or as you share them as we're chatting this morning. But before we do, I'm going to dive into showing you some of the sets that I built already. So for the LEGO Monkie Kid Wave, again, this is the wave that's coming out this summer. In some countries, it already came out June 1st. We've got, let's see, we have the first set was the 9-headed beast. So this incredible build that literally has 9 heads all over it, which is super fun. There's the large head in the middle that's kind of the main one. And then we've got these 2 medium-sized ones, and then these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller ones, plus some incredible wing details. This is a really fun set that also has the flapping wings feature, which I think is amazing. It also comes with this beautiful little section that I'm sure will tie in to the Monkie Kid Season 5, which is yet to come out. And we've got this little kind of jewel that's hidden in here. And it looks like, as I was building out the sets, all of them include some kind of jewel of this type of format. So I'm sure that that's going to be a part of the storyline as we're going through the season. But the 9-headed beast, it's $99.99. It has 757 pieces, and it has 5 minifigures. So the minifigs for this one are these 5, which are super fun. And you can see the villain over here, and then the classic Monkie Kid characters that we've seen before as we go across down the row. Additionally, there's this adorable little mech that comes with this set too. So great little mech for Monkie Kid himself. So that's one of the sets that they sent, which was so far probably my second favorite to build. My first favorite to build was, let's see, this one's actually kind of heavy, which I love. This incredible mech. So this is Neza's Ring of Fire mech. It's $139.99. 1,163 pieces and comes with 6 minifigures. You can see it's got like these giant wheels on the back, which is fun, which also help with the stability of the mech and making sure that it stands tall. It has lots of joints that move with natural movement, like you would see just like even with a human body. It also has these shoulder arm things that have the propellers, which I think that's the first time that we've gotten the propeller in that light purple color, which is fun. And then on the back, there's this little ship thing. This ship pod removes and attaches to the propellers to create a separate ship altogether, which is really cool. So this one, by far my favorite of the builds that I've had so far of these Monkie Kid ones, super detailed and just an incredible build altogether. Comes with 6 minifigures. And these are the 6 that you see in this one. So we've got 2 villains, and then we have the 4 Monkie Kid characters that we're used to seeing as well from the show, which is fun. Actually, 3 of the 4. We also have Neza, which you can see right here in the middle. And I'm so excited for this new season of Monkie Kid. Building these sets, I actually went through and watched seasons 1 through 4 of Monkie Kid, which is super fun and gave me a better sense of like everything about these sets. So, and then the last one, just to show you briefly, is this one. And this is the Monkie Kids Team Power Truck. And so you can see the truck itself. We've got 2 minifigures in here. We have the kitten, which I love, and then 3 other minifigures, so 5 total here. This villain has this fun little character build with like the scorpion, which I think is really neat. In the back also, we've got this like dump truck type thing. We have one of my favorite little tiny builds is this little pinball machine, which I think is just such a clever and cute build. And then also, like I mentioned, all of the sets are having these little kind of jewels that are hidden throughout. So really fun. I'm super excited to see how these incorporate in with the new season of Monkie Kid as they come out, and really enjoyed the build experience for all of them. So that's just like a brief overview of the three of the four sets that are in this new wave, but wanted to go ahead and build with you today the largest one, which is the Celestial Pagoda. So we're going to at least get started on that today as we talk about International Day of Play. So again, as you're joining, I'd love for you to drop in the chat your answer to the question, how do you incorporate play into your life? And as you do, and as you're thinking through that, I'm going to go ahead and open this and begin to share with you. So with these Monkie Kid sets, 2 of the 4 had boxes that are in the new box style. So that's where you actually have the lift off top, which is really cool. And makes a very convenient section to go ahead and hold all of your pieces. You can see that it has that kind of rounded part around the top. And what's nice is these are made so that they can fold up really nicely and flat in order for people to store them, because we know that a lot of people really like to keep their boxes. So that's one way that you can do that, or for easy recycling, which I prefer because we don't like to keep the boxes since they take up so much space. But I know some people do, which is good. So we're going to go ahead and start building this one. And let's see, let me find the instructions in here. I'm also loving all of the paper bags. The change to paper bags is really fantastic and super helpful. Let's see here. So we also are probably going to need these extra pieces. All right, here we go. So very hefty thing that's holding the instructions. That means it's a really thick instruction book. Let's see. Oh, there's multiple instruction books in here. Multiple sticker sheets. Let's see, 1, 2. Looks like just 2 in there. One thing I have found with the paper bag and the paper packaging is it's really important to make sure that you're taking a good look at what you have, so you don't miss out on any of the pieces or parts that you need. With them not being see-through, it sometimes can be harder to notice that some pieces that are in there, but they are like somewhat transparent, as you can see, so you can still like get a glimpse of like, hey, something's still stuck in there. But I have found as I've been building these out that it's important to not just immediately throw away the bags, but to have them close by so that as I'm building each section or each bag, I don't miss out on anything. But yeah, it looks like we got 2 instruction books that are pretty hefty. This first one is really thick. We have 2 sticker sheets. So here's one that we see here. Here's the other to show you. It looks like this one has the clear backing to them, and this one is more solid, which is fun. I love to see the different designs, but the clear ones are some of my new favorite ones because it creates a really nice design, but it also allows the color of the piece to shine through behind it. So really good stickers there. I know not a lot of people love stickers. I personally don't mind them as long as there aren't too many and they're not too small. We recently built the Marvel Sanctum Sanctorum, and there was one sticker that was literally for a 1x1 tile. And I was like, don't know that I really need to have that sticker. It'd be great if that could be a printed part. And they're actually in, I want to say, the 9-headed beast. And in the mech, there were a ton of stickers that kind of surprised me with how many there were. They do create good detail, but it's a lot to put on. So like I said, I don't mind them so much. I actually enjoy collecting the pieces too, and buying them off of Bricklink from resellers when they sell them, because I find fun uses for stickered pieces and printed pieces. Of course, I prefer printed, but I get that the cost is more expensive. So we're opening bag 1. And as we go through, I want to talk about International Day of Play. So would love to hear from you all how it is that you incorporate play into your daily life. For us, so my name is Justin. I'm Brady Joiner Bricks on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. And I incorporate play pretty much daily with Lego, of course, as an afol or adult fan of Lego. It's a huge part of my life and a huge part of the way that I enjoy spending time with my husband too. We really enjoy building things together. So part of that, of course, is reviewing sets as a Lego ambassador, which is a wonderful blessing and such an interesting and awesome opportunity. But also engaging with people online through social media, through build challenges. So there are lots of ways as an adult that you can engage and play. And I wanted to share some of the cool ways through Instagram in particular. So one of the things that I love the most is called the Mosaics on Monday. Excuse me, I have to have some coffee, get some caffeine. Mosaics on Monday is a weekly build challenge that is put together by Virginia Bricks, or Dana, on Instagram. And it's also co-hosted by John B. Toys. The two of them have been co-hosting for a very long time. And I want to say that Dana's been the longest host of Mosaics on Monday for maybe 3 or 4 years. It's been a while. I'll have to check in with her. But it's a great way to go ahead and build something that's a simple mosaic. So it could be as simple as building out just a fun pattern. So like here's one that we built that I just thought was really pretty and was based on a Pendleton blanket. Of course, very simple, very mindful activity. You don't have to really think much about it, but you can just enjoy putting the colors together, and that's fun. Or it can be something more complex. And so an example there is you can see just over here is my Wicked 2-plate mosaic that actually my husband designed initially, a very small one that was just one plate that was just Elphaba. And then we expanded it to be Elphaba and Glinda, which is fun. And that's what you can see there. And now I'm working on a massive upgrade to this one that's going to be I think it's 4 wide, so twice as wide, and then 6 times as tall. Really excited to build out a bigger Wicked mosaic too. But that's something that you could participate in weekly, which is fun. Another thing would be minifigure habitats. And so those are those small buildings that are like have 2 walls and they can stack up. I've got one actually, this way, just above or behind there we go, just behind the Elphaba and Glinda that you see. There's actually my stack that was from Loveland, Colorado for our Valentine's Habitat Challenge. That's put on by my friend Brick Fan Builds, or Jen, on Instagram. And she puts together those almost on a monthly basis. And then another one is the Let's Build series put together by Brick Huntress. And that one's super fun as well. That one is a themed challenge where every single month there's a different theme. So I co-hosted the one in January, which was fun. And our theme was Let's Build 24 by 24. And the point there was to get people to build on a 24 by 24 grid space, but they could build anything they wanted. This month is Let's Build Animals. So really fun, or the Animal Kingdom, I think. Anyway, really great opportunities to go ahead and engage with people on a regular basis, whether monthly or weekly or even daily. Last year, I did a daily builds calendar, which was super fun, and a nice challenge to give me different daily prompts that came from Lego. So that daily builds calendar, unfortunately, was only 1 year. So they offered that in 2023. You can still buy it, the calendar from last year. And it was one of those calendars that is set up to where every single day there's a tear off page. The page gives you a prompt. And then from that prompt, you go ahead and build whatever the prompt would be. So that actually resulted in a lot of the builds that you see up on that shelf, I think, which is super fun. And maybe some other ones that are scattered all around here too. But I really loved that challenge because it got me using my hands to build something daily, which was fun, and learning some new build techniques as I went through too. So those are some of the ways that you could build as an adult, if you're an adult fan of Lego, every single day. I'm curious, though, again, if you'll go ahead and drop your answers to the chat, how do you incorporate play in your life? And we'll go ahead and chat about that as well. All right, so we've got Monkie Kid. Our first minifigure, of course, has to be the Monkie Kid joining us for this build. I love in the new instructions how they've got these giant illustrations of the characters as you build them. And that's been, I think, in at least 2 of the 4 sets that I built. Some of the smaller ones don't have that. And then here we have a really beautiful character. And as I was showing you all those different gemstones that we see in the other sets, it's looking like these gems are going to play a big part in this character as well. So I'm excited that I saved this one for last for building. This looks like a new piece that fits on the shoulders of a minifigure and creates kind of a backpack type setup for them. So in this case, it's going to connect this ring on her back that can hold those jewels. And I'll show you in a moment, which is super fun. But yeah, so International Day of Play is set up by the United Nations, as I mentioned, and they talk about the importance of play in children's lives, but there's also importance of play in adults' lives as well. So in terms of the importance of play for children, some of the things that they talked about were the importance of building creativity, building empathy, driving connection among people. The connection piece, I think, is a piece that I really value, helping people develop community and develop friendships, building community even with your own family members, but also with your friends too, as you're building and playing together. Another thing was building empathy. That's definitely core to my heart. That's super important to me and means a lot to me. And I'm excited that that's an area that they were talking about as one of the big benefits of play. So the way that building empathy happens is often with storytelling. When people are building and learning about a culture that's different than their own, or building a story of a character that's navigating something challenging or whatnot, they are experiencing the emotions with them. They are practicing and playing with what it means to think about emotions and how they affect our lives. And so I love storytelling and the way that storytelling drives empathy. I think it's important for us to kind of put ourselves in each other's shoes, so to speak, and think through what it is that we could learn from understanding someone else's experience in life. And that's a big way that play really fuels driving empathy, which I think is super fun. With these Monkie Kid sets, it's been really fun to also watch the series itself. And it's neat to see the different types of messages and lessons and character qualities that they're trying to encourage kids to build and develop through following this story, which I think is super fun. Okay, so we built this ring that's going to be attached to this character's back. And now we have all of these beautiful gemstones that I'm sure will play a part in the story. But yeah, in watching the series, I was really excited to see how they taught about the importance of things like resilience. So how do you get up after you've fallen and push yourself to try again, as opposed to giving up, right? So how do you push through and develop resilience, which is going to help people all throughout their lives? How do you think about other people and recognize that your actions might impact another person? Just really, really wonderful lessons that they were teaching. The importance of teamwork, of thinking about how everybody has different strengths in life, I think is really cool too. Let's see. I'm going to make sure that I can see the chat. I did not have it up to where I could see the chat. I only had it where I saw the question. So now I see there's lots of people in here. Good morning. Yay, paper bags. Awesome. Thank you for giving me things to react to. I'm sorry I haven't been reacting to y'all this whole time yet. But let's see here. So yes, paper bags. Super excited about those because it makes it so much easier to recycle things. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate you saying you're almost going to text me to let me know. I'm clearly missing the chat. Obviously, going live on YouTube is still new for me, and I'm still kind of understanding and learning these things. So I appreciate all the help that people can think of or can offer for those of you that are veterans at doing this type of work. Good morning. Yay. Thanks for dropping by, Yano. I know that you have work. I know that this time doesn't work for a lot of people, and that's totally fine. But I so appreciate people popping in briefly. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. And hi, Ben, of course. So I'm seeing Lego and video games for you, Ben. I love that both of those play a role in your life. And I'm curious what video games you play, if you want to drop those in the chat too. I grew up being a gamer. It was something that was a big part of my life. One of my favorite games that I played on PC was Myst, which was such a cool and interesting storytelling game that was very spooky. And it like just bordered that line of spooky and scary enough for me, but wasn't like horror movie because I don't like scary. So I remember being very creeped out by it, but loving it. And that was one of the games, and then also played lots of like Nintendo games. So we had Donkey Kong on the Nintendo 64 that we got when my brother was born, and or not born, but when he was young. And we also had a Nintendo early in the ages of Nintendo when the first one came out. And I was so jealous of my neighbors that had a Super Nintendo, but now we bought that new Super Nintendo set that has all the different games on it, which is super cool. So, or not set, but game console. Okay, this is the character that I was talking about. She is gorgeous, beautiful printing. I'm loving these little gemstones. I'm thinking they'll be, again, featured pretty heavily in the stories that we see in this new season. Her back printing is actually pretty covered up by this little piece, and so you don't really see any of that back printing, but there is some back printing on there, which is fun. And then she also has a double printed face, but this is the front face, which is the more detailed one, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, Mist was one of a kind. So interesting. So clever, so cool. Okay, maybe you already talked about it, but that instruction book looks huge. It does. So let's see. Book 1 itself is 183 pages. Book 2, so let's see, the second one is 98 pages. So this is almost 300 pages of build instructions. Which is so fun. So yeah, I'm gonna keep building along and watching the chat as we continue to go through. But yeah, Ben, let me know what games that you play regularly. I know some of them, but want to see what you'll share there too. Anyway, I was a gamer as a kid. It was a big part of my life, and it was something that I really enjoyed and had a lot of fun with. And then in adulthood, it's just not been as big a part of my life, in part because I didn't have the newer systems to have the newer games, and things cost money, and I just wasn't prioritizing money in that way. Instead, I was prioritizing going to see movies and doing things like being involved in theater and other hobbies that I had as well. Lego takes up a lot of my money and is a big part of my hobby too. Okay, started Horizon Forbidden West and Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to try to get a few indie cheaper games. Awesome. I'd heard recently about Horizon Forbidden West. And I also saw the information or news about a new Lego game that's coming out that was called, I think, Lego Horizon. Are those connected? I'm assuming they are. But not exactly sure. It seemed like a lot of people were very excited to get a set with a specific character from that. And it made me assume that it was from like the Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon other series games as well. So, all right. So it looks like we're building maybe a stand that this person's going to stand on. Or no, this is maybe going to be a tree that I'm working on. I love the colors that they've chosen for this set in particular. Beautiful use of these like very light purple or light lavender colored flowers. And we also have it in these tree leaf pieces as well. So really nice to see those included in here. Okay, yes, Lego Horizon Adventures is Horizon Zero Dawn meets Lego. Awesome. And you have thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts about that. I don't know too much about the game itself because like I said, I haven't been a gamer as much as an adult. It's been something that's been less of my time in adulthood, but I'm curious on your thoughts with that as well. And yeah, Brian, RTS don't really happen anymore. RTS. I'm assuming that's related to Myst, and I don't know what RTS means, so if you'll let me know, that'd be great. Okay, I have a vendor meeting. I'll pop back in later. Yay, bye. Enjoy your vendor meeting. Hope it goes well. Enjoy as much as you can. Real-time strategy. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was such an interesting... So Myst was such an interesting game, and I loved, personally, the storytelling aspects of it, that you were constantly... exploring something new. It was around the same time that I was reading a lot of those books that were like choose your own adventure books, and where you were trying to solve a problem or navigate through something really clever or interesting or scary or spooky. And it kind of reminded me of the same thing. RTS is StarCraft and Command and Conquer. Awesome, thank you. Good stuff. So yeah, Lego obviously is a big way that we in our house like to build and play and incorporate play into our daily lives. And I can talk about some of the ways that we do that beyond just building sets and reviewing sets, of course. But curious for y'all, what things do you do other than Lego? So we heard from Ben a little bit on the importance of gaming and how that's worked for him too, as a way to play, which is fun. I'm a bit curious on what some of y'all do in other ways as well. I should have tried Myst again as an adult. I was a bit young to get into it when I first tried. Fair enough. I think it came out right when I was in maybe older middle school. I remember it being on PC, and it wasn't, I think it was a game that was directly on our PC, so it wasn't through the internet. I didn't really play a lot of games through the internet, so I didn't play with other people. It was all played just on your own console and kind of by yourself, because that's what was available then, / I'm sure that was also partly how my parents wanted me to play or wanted me not to play with strangers on the internet. Of course, things have changed so much to where that's such a common experience now, and there's a lot of safety measures in place for kids, which is great, as they're gaming online. But I know there can be lots of bullying that happens in that space too, so just have to be thoughtful about that. But yeah, that just wasn't, we didn't really have online as an option, so it was all directly on our computers. And I remember playing with my friend Zach, who was my neighbor, and so we would just be like sitting in my basement on this computer working through the challenge together. So it was actually still in person, as opposed to like him on his console and me on mine. And I like that now there's the opportunity to do more collaborative games in a different way where you don't have to be in the same space. It also gives people the chance to build connections and community like around the globe, which I think is really fun too. So let's see. Okay, so we're building out this tree, and we have 2 of these. It looks like this one. Oh, I see. Okay, so this connects here. So I'm liking the way that they've got these different tree connections attached to these different rods that are sticking out. It's a clever way to do it where it's not just stacking them with studs on the tree limbs, but actually attaching them a little bit more firmly too when they slide onto the different rods in the parts. Let's see. So we talked a little bit about some of the ways to do like online build challenges, like the Let's Build series, Mosaics on Monday, the habitat building challenges that happen pretty much throughout the year, right? Lots of different ways that you can engage in that way. The daily build challenges through the calendar, but also wanted to share some of the different ways that we build at our house. So we have in our living room, so outside and around and towards the front, right as you enter our house, Lego wall. So we have used 3M sticky strips of those kind of Velcro strips to go ahead and attach to base plates. And those base plates are then attached to the wall. And the wall then has some 2x2 bricks every time that a connection piece would happen for a natural 16x16 base plate itself that can attach to those as well. And that gives us our little mini canvases. And we build these little Lego mosaics all the time throughout the year, and we trade them throughout the year, which is super fun. But we use that kind of as a way to decorate for different holidays, which is cool. And we also do it where when we're having people over for parties or events or activities, we encourage our friends to also build for it as well. So they can personalize it. Like when people are visiting and staying at our house, they can personalize some mosaics in the front of the house, which is fun to kind of denote that they were here. We recently rebuilt all of our different ones and put up our different ones for Pride Month, which is super fun. And I shared those on Instagram, I think yesterday, which is cool. And then throughout the summer, we'll build some other summer related things too. So, all right, so we have this tree, which is a really pretty tree. I'm loving the use of these peaches as well. Those are new parts that we saw come through in January. And I think the first set that I saw them in was the Chinese New Year set, which is, well, it's behind the chair, so you won't actually see it here. But yeah, so we have the tree, which is this guy here. I'm trying to put it in a place where you can see it still. There we go. We've got the minifigures, so we'll put her, oops, back here as well. And then, of course, Monkie Kid himself. Ta-da! All right, and then the last pieces from this part of the build. So again, this is just building out the very beginnings of the set. I definitely won't get through the entire set during this conversation, but I'll continue to build, and then I'll share a full, more complete review of this set and the other sets afterward. So You can definitely stay tuned for those coming in the future. Just fun. Yeah, so our mosaic wall, our Lego wall is super cool and super fun to do. I like having that as an option for people to build when they come and visit our house. We have bins full of 1x1 bricks. That's what we first started collecting when we were doing those mosaics. And that makes it super easy for people to dive in and just build something really pixelated. And so that's where you can see with the Wicked one there, it started as just a pixelated 1x1 bricks thing. And then we added tiles and added more detail later over the years as we grew more adept in our Lego building skills and wanted to create something a little bit more detailed, which is fun. With that, bringing out those 1x1 bricks and just 16x16 base plates, perfect for activities. And honestly, the adults enjoy it as much as, if not more than, the kids who come by. And so I recommend it for anybody who has some wall space. You just buy a few of the 32x32 base plates and stick them up on the wall. And I have a brief tutorial that's about a minute long that I shared on Instagram, but I'm going to share here as a YouTube short very soon for people to see how we set up our wall as well. All right, and this is the last piece that we have, and it's this little blue, maybe fountain, possibly. And you can see they use the transparent tile on the transparent blue brick in the middle section there, and then we've got these two pieces here too. So little structures that we have that came with bag one. Find bag two. All right, bag two. So this set is made in the modular style, meaning it's different pieces that can connect in different ways, which is super fun. It is meant to be built tall, so it will end up being a very tall celestial pagoda, but different parts of it, I believe, can be taken apart and rearranged in different ways as well. A lot of the friend sets were built and designed that way, which I think is really fun because you can reposition things and redesign things. And some of the other, sorry, that's pretty loud. We got all the pieces out, it looks like. Some of the other Monkie Kid sets also, like some of the, maybe it's the City of Lanterns and some of the other ones, are also designed to where people can go ahead and rearrange them and display them in a different way. All right. So we talked about our Lego wall, which is a fun way for us to build together as a family and when we have friends over visiting as well. Another thing that we have is a shadow box that we bought from Michael's. It's an arts and crafts store in the United States. And it fits when you turn it sideways. So it's a shadow box that was originally designed to hold shot glasses. But when you turn it sideways, it actually holds 6x12 Lego base plates perfectly. Like they just fit, perfect fit in there. And I think it holds, let's see, there's 7 boxes by 4 that holds 28 little mini scenes on that size. So we bought that early in our afol journey when we first started to build mocks. So mocks are my own creation or something that you build that's not built with instructions. When we first started to build mocks, the 2 ways that we did them predominantly were through our Lego wall that I talked about with those base plates and just basically mini mosaics. And then with these little tiny mini scenes. And so those scenes, again, were very small. It forced us to think about how do you create a lot of detail in a small space. And you have to be very creative and clever to do that, which is fun. So it really helped us by having the challenge of the small space, helped us identify different ways to build for detail in a small scale. And that fits really well with the same concept of minifigure habitats. So that was kind of a natural move from these little scenes into the slightly larger minifigure habitat scenes, which is really fun as well. But those were some of the early ways that we built and set up some things. Oh, okay, I attached this wrong. There we go. These tiles go off the plate by 1 so that it can offset with the next level or row of plates to go ahead and connect together. And I have them solidly on. looks like we are building the ground floor of this model. But yeah, those mini scenes were the next kind of area that we focused. And the first time that I displayed anything at a convention, it was our mini scenes that Philip and I had built together, predominantly from the Oscars, which was super fun. They were different scenes that were around all the different Oscar movies, Oscar nominated movies from that year, which was 2018. As well as some other scenes from some other pop culture things. So I remember at the time, we had a scene that was from Jurassic World. It showed Chris Pratt's character standing with the four mini tiny little baby raptors that we got in some different sets. And it was from the movie scene, but it was also kind of acknowledging the fun silliness that zookeepers were doing, where they were recreating that picture where they were like, stand back, and they had four different animals facing them, which was super cute and super fun. So that was one. Philip also took our ET and designed a little ET scene where Elliot is flying in the bike with ET in the front, and you see the moon in the background as kind of the shadow. And that's one that we ended up translating into a minifig habitat later, and is one that we've shared many times at conventions, which is fun. But that was just like a really fun way for us to, again, build together and have fun and incorporate our love for pop culture and movies into play too. And then we took them to Brick Rodeo, which actually at the time was Brick Fiesta. It's a Lego convention that happens in different parts of Texas. Brick Fiesta used to rotate around 4 different cities in Texas, including Austin. And this year it was in Austin back in 2019, I think. That was the first time that we shared our builds at a convention. And we won Best Pop Culture that year, which was super cool. It was really exciting to win an award for something, which was not even our intention. Our intention was just to go and have fun and share some of the things that we love. So that also developed even more of a bug for me to continue to build out bigger and better and bolder things. And so we've moved on from just those small scenes to some much larger scenes. All right, I wanted you to take a quick look at this base. The base, I love the way they use these curved plates to go ahead and create more width, but also for it to visually look not squared off at the bottom. And this section here on the, I think, right side that you're looking at, or left side, is going to be duplicated on the right side too. And it looks like it'll also connect to something else that might build it out further this way. So great use of those curved plates, which I think is fantastic. Make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Okay. All right, so I'll continue to build out this next section as we go through. Okay. But yeah, it was really fun to go to the convention. It was, like I said, we used to call it Brick Fiesta, and now it's known as Brick Rodeo. So we rebranded back in 2020, or maybe that was 2019. I can't remember the exact years of when everything happened. But now Brick Rodeo happens on an annual basis and bounces between Austin and Houston. This summer, it'll be in Austin here in a few weeks, actually over 4th of July weekend. So if you happen to live in and around the Austin area, I strongly recommend that you come by for the public hours. You have to buy tickets in advance. And I actually have a code that you can save $2 off your tickets. So the tickets are $15 a piece, but you can save $2, so they become $13 a piece if you use code BJB for Brady Jonah Bricks 24. So BJB 24 gives you the discount for this year, which is super fun. The public hours, you buy a ticket for 2 hours of public display time, where you can come in and view the mocks that people have built and brought with them to the convention from all over the globe. So really, really beautiful and really cool things to see. There's incredible, massive art pieces that people design. There are smaller, teeny tiny little builds that people bring as well. So it ranges, but it's all different really fun things that people have built and brought to the convention. And again, over 4th of July weekend. So strongly recommend you go. And if you do, I'd love to say hi and get to know you. So please come and say hello when you're in town for Brick Rodeo. Again, this year it's in Austin. Next year it'll bounce back to Houston, and then it'll come back to Austin again, which is fun. And I love that we get the chance to go to different cities and get a chance to show our fun builds to different audiences, because the public that comes in Austin might be a little different than the public that comes in Houston, since they're different cities. So always good opportunities to also get us out of our comfort zone and out of our hometown and move to a different place. And check some things out. So we usually try to make a road trip of it and stop by some other stores that maybe we don't see in Austin that are some Lego resale stores typically, and see some family or friends that live in the area while we're down that way too. Speaking of conventions, another fun way that we've been incorporating play into our lives is both attending those conventions and displaying work, but then also bringing little tokens of appreciation that we share by putting in front of other people's builds. So this is our token of appreciation that I designed last year. It is representative of our dog, Penny. And so she is a Whippet Terrier mix. And most of her coloring is black, although she has some brown and white in it. In this small version, of course, it's just black. She has a rainbow collar that she uses, and also a purple collar, and then a rainbow hang tag that she uses. So that's how we designed this. And then, of course, a little patch of green grass. So we drop that off in front of people's builds that we want to appreciate, which is fun. And we'll be building out a bunch of those before we go to the conventions this season. But conventions are a great way both to build community, to connect with other builders around the globe who come into town and visit, which is really fun. And it's also just like a really fun way for us to get to learn other build techniques from other builders that do a great job with their structures and things. And also share some of the tips and things that we've done. It's a great way to connect with people that we know mostly through Instagram and YouTube. And so I love that opportunity to connect with other fans of Lego that we've been getting to know through the internet and this incredible community of AFOLs and KFOLs and TFOLs around the globe. So super, super fun. And the conventions, in the past, we've always gone to Brick Rodeo since it's in Austin or Houston. Easy drive for us. If it's in Austin, it's a 5-minute drive from our house, which was amazing. If it's in Houston, it's a couple-hour drive, but not too far again. So great ways to see those, but we've never been outside of Texas to a convention. And we're actually moving on to some new conventions this year. So we will be attending Brick Fair, Virginia, which I'm very excited about. And that will be later in the end of July, beginning of August, I think. And then we will head to Brick Slopes in Salt Lake City. So I grew up in Colorado, while Texas is now home. And we've lived in Austin I've lived in Austin, I think for almost, since 2009. So almost 15 years now. No, we just hit 15 years. I'm in my 16th year. Wow, that is wild. This is now home, but Colorado is home for me originally. And that's where I grew up. And really love experiencing different parts of the country. But having grown up in Colorado, I used to be able to visit Salt Lake City, especially when I was in college. I went and visited some of my fraternity brothers that lived there and really enjoyed going up into the mountains in a different area. Because, again, I grew up where the Rocky Mountains were right in my backyard, which was so cool. But it was nice to go and see the Rockies in a different area. And experience the mountains from really a valley that's in the middle of the mountains. So very excited to head to Salt Lake. My husband, Philip, has never been. So it'll be nice to experience that together and to show him some of the places that I love and go to some new places potentially too. So, but yeah, excited to head to those conventions. Also, because people tend to go to conventions that are closer to them, because it's easier to drive with your mocks and not have to package them up so securely because of how hard it is to transport a built piece. It's neat to be able to see things that we don't necessarily always see at Brick Rodeo, because not everyone comes to Brick Rodeo. Although each year we get more and more people. Each year we have more and more AFOL tickets and passes, and each year we sell out all of them. And we've sold them out a long time ago already for that. But very excited that we'll get to see some new builders and some new creations this time. But also we'll see plenty more in Virginia and also in Salt Lake. So that's fun. Plus, it's a great way to, again, connect with people that maybe we know online, but that we haven't actually seen in person before. All right, so continuing this structure, I'm loving the curved base. We've got this bucket here with some green inside. One thing that I love and don't love is these studs fit perfectly in the buckets, but if you flip them upside down, they fall straight out. So they don't actually connect. They just like rest in there. And then we've got a mug here too. So fun details that we'll see as we continue to build out this structure. But yeah, I know those are designed for play features for kids who actually want to do like storytelling and play. So I think it's important for them to have all those pieces in here. But yeah, anytime a set has something that's loose in there, because we don't do a lot of like storytelling and play with the sets that we create, instead we build and display them and photograph them. So that might be how our storytelling shows up. Any of those loose pieces, I feel like, always end up strewn around the house because they get lost. And I'm sure for parents with kids that are building that you still have those pieces all over the house, whether they're connected or not. So I'm sure that happens too. All right, so in this set, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these big ugly rock pieces, or burp, B-U-R-P. And that's fun to see and hear. Great for rock work. When you're building out different rock sections, as well as here. I love how it's a part of the pagoda and creating those interior walls that go around those two different pieces we just talked about, the mug and that bucket. So yeah, conventions are a great way for you to connect with people. If you are on the convention circuit and headed around, would love to meet you. So please say hello when you see us. My name's Justin again. My husband is Philip. We are both very friendly, and we both love to connect with other people who love to build. So also, I would love to see the builds that you build too. So if you're not going to conventions too, feel free to connect with us online. On Instagram is where I spend a lot of my time, but that's a great way for me to connect with you too. And then of course here on YouTube. And if you have a YouTube account and like to share builds and things, let me know so I can go ahead and watch some of your streams and connect with you here too. YouTube is newer for me. Instagram, we've been on with our Braided Joiner Bricks account since 2017. So we're coming up on 7 years, which is nuts. Time has flown by so quickly. And I've loved that space and will continue to love that space and continue to love connecting with people there. But YouTube is this newer venture for me as well. And I'm really enjoying the opportunity to share some longer form videos, especially with the reviews that I get to do. So you can see some of my other reviews on the channel. I have a playlist of different reviews. Some of them are YouTube shorts because it's a very quick review or a quick glimpse at some of the components of a review. And then I have some longer form reviews. So I did the Tuxedo Cat, which is really cool and was a really fun sculpted build. Very, very beautiful. Also reviewed the retro radio. So you can see that right by my elbow over there. Really interesting set. Also, Philip and I just finished building out the, oh, no, it's not in here. The Sanctum Sanctorum. So I'm going to be filming a full review of that soon. I know that's an older set, but that's one that we both love Marvel. We both love movies, and was just like a no-brainer for us to have in our house, and we didn't have it yet. So very excited to have gotten to build that. We watched all of the movies that feature the Sanctum in them while building it, as well as some other movies. So we watched Venom because we'd never seen it and wanted to start preparing for the new Venom movies that are coming out soon. But then, of course, the Doctor Strange movies, the Spider-Man, I think it was No Way Home. Is that the most recent one? I can't remember the order of the names. But yeah, wanted to go ahead and rewatch those that reference the Sanctum. And then you can see I've got the that one behind there is the Boutique Hotel. Incredibly beautiful modular. And recently I got a lighting kit sent to us from the lighting company Light Tailing, and very excited to put that together and share that and do a review of their light kits. It's a company that we've bought before, and we actually like their lighting kits. So I think I'll like this one as well, but excited to put that in and light that one up. And then I've got news of another review that I'm getting to do this summer, which I'm very excited about and can't tell you what it is yet, but I'll be excited when I'm able to share with you what it is. And have some other things that I get to do through the Lego Ambassador Network. That's just been such a gift. It's been so wonderful to develop more community through that, and to have the chance to share feedback back to the Lego group about how my community views some different sets as well. So that's been really fun to get to do. And I think that the biggest thing that's the joy for me is hearing from you all about what you like or what you don't like, and sharing that back with the Lego group, because they do want to hear from consumers and from builders. And that's part of why they do the Lego Ambassador Network, is to really get an inside glimpse into what people think of different sets, what people want to see. So please always feel comfortable to send me any information that you have about opinions or thoughts that you have on different sets. So that I can go ahead and pass that information on. Obviously, the ones that I build and review, those are the ones that I hear most about, because those are the ones that people think to share with me. But yeah, if you've got other opinions on other sets too, feel free to share. All right, so adding these burp pieces in, these big ugly rock pieces, you can see they're kind of surrounding the outsides of this section. Really beautiful, and it's going to create that sense of that celestial pagoda kind of being built on a rock base, which is really fun. And I love that there's detail inside the bottom of that base. So really, really cool. And I'm excited to see, as this continues to go up, what each of the individual levels look like as we go through. So another way that we like to incorporate play into our daily lives is we love to travel. Travel is a big passion of Philip and mine. And we love to travel together and explore places that we've never been. And when we do, we actually travel with this. So this is a zippered pouch. I got it designed, or the design is from someone on Society6 is the website. And it's the number 6. So the word society, then the number 6.com. You can buy all different things with individual artists' designs, and that could be a cell phone case. So actually this cell phone cover came from there too. But we got this little pouch, and in this pouch we keep these posing minifigure posing pieces. That's what I call them. And that way I can hold this and have my hand off camera and just be taking a picture of the minifigure. And then we take our sig figs, or signature figures, our minifigures that look like us, and they travel with us on all of our vacations, which is silly and fun, and also is a great way to meet people. So a fun way to meet strangers is to, while you're on vacation, is to travel around with Lego and to stop and take pictures of your Lego pieces, and minifigures, enjoying the scenery too. It's always fun to see the number of people that come up and say, "What are you doing?" And you just have to be open to those random conversations that come up with people. But a lot of people say, "That is such a clever idea. I love it," and want to know how they can build their own sig figs. And that's been really fun. So it allows us to do minifigure photography in a silly and fun way, actually on the scene in different places that we're visiting. While we're traveling, and when we get ready to travel, we pack our own suitcases, of course, for ourselves, but we also pack that bag full of supplies that our minifigs might need. So for instance, when we went to Colorado to visit family, one of the trips was for a graduation. So we had a cap and gown for the minifigures to have, and built a little minifigure that was like our nephew who's graduating. And then also we had, oops, did I miss a piece? Looks like I did miss a piece back there. We had some pizza because we knew we were going to go to a pizzeria. We had some beers because we were going to go to some breweries, which is super fun, that we always do with my brothers when we're visiting them in town. And it's really fun to just have our minifigs enjoying all of the things that we enjoy too. So that's another way that we play and enjoy that. And what's fun is we share those pictures online on social media. And we did one, we brought Santa hats for our minifigures when we went to Denmark for the first time in 2018. And that was a really fun little add-on touch that we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, got all those pieces. Awesome. Got all that caught up. But we brought those Santa hats. We had bikes as well, and we had our sig figs riding their bikes beside New Alven, which is a beautiful area in Copenhagen. And in Copenhagen, we took that picture, we added it to our holiday cards and shared them with our friends from that year, which was fun. Posted it on social media, and Lego actually ended up using our picture in some of their not ad campaigns, but some of their email marketing and stuff too. And the other day, I did something that was a fun little challenge that was to, it was one of those Instagram things where it's like, share yours. And it was to share, taking a picture of your, or Googling your screen name and taking a picture of what that looks like. And through that, I found there were all of these different marketing companies that were talking about ways that companies engage with their fans. And a bunch of them used the Christmas campaign and winter holiday campaigns that Lego had done that had our pictures in them. And so our picture ended up on these random marketing things, which I thought was really fun. And then also they did the same with Pride. Some of my Pride builds got used for their Pride campaigns, which is super fun too. And some other company or some other marketing websites were talking about ways that companies can celebrate Pride along with their fans and share those. And so I was surprised to see that more than just the Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok links came up, but also these other links to things that I had no idea were out there in the world, which was super fun. So doing minifigure photography can be a really fun hobby. I know there are some who they are really into making sure that they're taking beautiful and gorgeous photos and establishing their techniques with how they build, or I mean, how they take different photos throughout the year, photos of minifigures in different settings and that kind of thing too. So you can learn a lot about photography with this hobby as well. There's a lot of accounts that really focus heavily on the photography aspect of this hobby. And I love how there's different ways that people play. So in our case, of course, we build sets. We love that. It's super fun. And there are some people who are just set builders. And when I say just, I don't mean that in any disparaging way. I mean it that that's what they focus on. And that's awesome and wonderful. You can enjoy this hobby as a set builder, and you are perfectly valid and welcome as an adult fan of Lego who builds sets. You don't have to be building mocks or those my own creations, which are your own designs, in order to be valid in this space. But I do think mocking is a fun way to develop new skills and whatnot. And so I really enjoy getting to build those mocks myself. And that's something that Philip and I both enjoy getting to do. But we also enjoy building the sets together. So that's a fun way. The photography is a fun way. Even sorting Lego can be a part of the hobby and can be a really peaceful and positive thing. And that's something that if you're a Lego fan, especially a mock builder, you probably sort your Lego quite a bit. Just on the opposite side of this computer is our setup that has our Lego sorting in our Lego room. And it's beautiful and super helpful to have things sorted and arranged in a way that we can easily find the pieces that we need when we're building things. So I will do a future video that's a room tour that shows off this room. I've spent a lot of time in here lately redesigning everything. So the shelves behind me are brand new shelves. Some of our sorting pieces on the opposite side of the room are newer as well, or just further expanded to our collection to help us have things a little bit more organized, which is fun. And so I'm excited to share that, but not today. Today we're just focusing on this set. And I think I'm going to get through just bags 1 and 2 today before we kind of close out this this live stream. But I'll come back as well to do a full review of the sets for these Monkie Kid sets to share with you a little bit more of the details that come in here too. All right, we are at our first sticker. So building out these little kind of prison cell type doors. And we've got, let's see, stickers number 1. There's actually, this is fun. So the stickers have a little key on them as opposed to incorporating the key into the door. That's a little different than what we've seen before. But yeah, minifigure photography while on vacation and traveling with our sig figs. That's a fun way that, again, we like to enjoy the hobby, which is cool. Let's see. Just a moment while I stick this on. a little stubborn. There we go. All right, the first sticker is on. It's mostly straight, not quite perfect, and that's okay. All right, we'll attach this here, and then we'll move on to the other sticker. Let's see, other things we talked about, the shadow box, the Lego wall, taking our sig figs with us, the convention tokens and traveling to different conventions, and then also celebrations. And so one of the things that after doing the daily build challenge last year, where I built 310 mocks throughout the year, because there was a daily prompt every single day, except for the weekends had one prompt for the weekend. That resulted in 310 prompts. I built 310 mocks, which was nuts and super fun and really grew my skills as a Lego builder. Through that, I started to fall in love with building Lego sculpted builds and creatures. So I'll show you some of those in just a moment, as we are about to wrap up this live stream. But that's been a fun way to continue to do builds as well and to engage with play. All right, so that's attached. It looks like we're going to attach some of these minifigure tools on the inside. We've got a whip and a knife and all different types of weapons here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this one goes here. Nope, is that right? Nope, this one. Okay. Let me put these in, and then I will show you where we're at. Got this whip. Lots of gold pieces, specifically for these little tools and minifigure pieces. All right, and here we go. Ta-da! Go in, go in. There we go. All right, we are done with bag 2. Bag 2 built out the base here. It has those kind of guard cell pieces. We've also got these 2 different door entrances, one on either side, that open up to have the insides. One has the bucket that was in there with a little green piece in there, and the other one has the coffee mug in there too. And we have the stickers that have the locks. So I'm assuming that's like a prison kind of in the basement or dungeon of the Celestial Pagoda, but we'll see when we see the story itself. And we've also got those different minifigure pieces in there, the gold that you see in there as well, and some candles. And again, beautiful rounded pieces as you go around to create that base platform. So really cool. Also in bag 1, we had that tree. Whoops, there we go. This tree that was really pretty that'll probably connect to the outside, I think. It looks like they're going to connect on the outside here. Because it has the openings for the Technic pieces, and then this water piece will also connect over here. Okay, that's fun. So it's like creating like a little tiny waterfall. So let's actually snap those in. Okay, I love that. So we've got the tree, and then we have the little water area too. And then we've got the 2 minifigs. So this is, again, the starting of this set. So Monkie Kid and this beautiful character, and her name, where's the box? Her name is, because she's a new character, Nua, and she's a new character that we're seeing in this new season 5 of Monkie Kid. So very excited about that. All right, so I will continue this set. I will do a full review of the different Monkie Kid sets, and I'll share that with y'all. But I'm grateful that y'all tuned in today. Before I go, I want to share with you one last thing. So that was just talking about, we talked about different ways of play. And so wanted to share, hi, good to see you. Is this Dan or Simon? Just quickly popped in to say hello. Happy International Day of Play. Yay. I just finished bags 1 and 2. I'm going to take a pause for a little bit and then come back to it later. But before I go from the live stream, wanted to share throughout this year, building out different guys that celebrate different holidays. So this is January. This is Disco Dan, and it's the ball that drops on New Year's Eve, which is super fun. We also have this one for Pride Month. So this is our new friend that we built, or that I built just last week. This is Rainbow Ray, ready for Pride festivities and having that yellow mustache, which I thought was super cute. And then one more to show you. Actually, here's a sneak peek at one that I haven't shared yet. This one doesn't have a name yet. This will be for September, and it is a pencil because it's back to school time. So that's been another fun way to incorporate play into our day. So it's a great way as adults to incorporate play. I think it's important, again, for people of all ages to experience play, and it's something that doesn't have to end with childhood. Thanks again for joining. For everyone who did, it's good to see y'all. And I really appreciate you celebrating International Day of Play today. One last question for y'all, if you want to drop in the chat, how are you going to play today? So go ahead and drop that in the chat and share with us which ways you plan to go ahead and incorporate play into your day or into your week sometime this week. Thanks again for joining. Again, my name is Justin of Brady Joiner Bricks. Very happy to see you today. I will share a full review of all the Monkie Kid sets soon. And yeah, whatever you do, build kindness. Yay, building Lego after work. Awesome. Bye, y'all.